Welcome to Make the Grade with the Success Doctor, Stephen Green, where you'll discover actionable strategies to help your student to reach their academic goals, to excel at standardized testing, and to plan for the college admissions process painlessly. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Green.
Hello, Dr. Stephen Green here, the Success Doctor. Time for another Make the Grade podcast. I got an interesting topic today. The goal of the podcast, very simple, to give parents of students, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, actionable things they can use right away to maximize their education. That's the goal. Okay? I want you to be able to listen to this, maybe even halfway, you pause it. Hey, I can do that. I want to suggest this to my kid. I'm going to work with this along with my kid. And we're going to help them get A's. We're going to help them get better grades. We're going to help them get a better GPA. We're going to give them SAT scores, whatever the story might be. I got a topic today that's really timely. And just to frame this, this is middle March 2020. So who knows when you're going to be listening to this. And we are in the middle, dang smack in the middle of this coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic outbreak. And hopefully we can look back at this and it's just a headache and a nuisance, although it is dangerous. But I happen to live in a county in Pennsylvania where they have shut down the whole county. Every school is shut down for 2 to 3 weeks. It's only non-essential or essential services. Schools are closed. Banks are half closed. A lot of stores are closed. Restaurants. It's a little scary. A lot of schools, and this is the point of my podcast for today, are trying to still maintain some normalcy and some education. And what they're doing is going to online or virtual classroom. And I want to talk about this today because I don't want to toot my own horn, but I will. I was one of the pioneers or on the leading edge, honestly, of virtual education. I've been doing it since it really hit the internet. To give you a little history, maybe 12, 13 years ago, the technology was kind of sort of that you actually needed a webcam. It was actually, I know this might not make sense to you younger people because you do it on your phone, but there was actually an external device called a webcam. You had to plug into the computer and hopefully it would work. The resolution was fair on a good day. The internet speed was not really strong enough to even support it. Sometimes the voice and the picture were out of sync. But what we did was we were able to use it to instruct. Distance learning, they used to call it, and they probably still call it that. Flash forward, the technology is so much better. So much better. The signal strength, the internet, the Wi-Fi, it can really handle it. The broadband, as they used to call it, is just great. I am lucky in that I have the opportunity right now to tutor and support people in 17 states in the United States and in 3 foreign countries, all through online education. It's really, really cool that way. I've met and had connections to lots of people in Japan and Germany and England and India. Pretty cool. Anyway, so I want to talk about kind of the pluses and minuses of this. For some people, this is uncharted territory. And also just throw this out there. I can tutor anybody online. We have video, we have audio, we have access to file sharing, we have a whiteboard. It's really pretty close to the live experience without being able to reach across the table and actually write on somebody's notes. So let's talk about this. What's the goal? The goal of any tutoring experience is to solve a problem, right? That's the goal of any tutoring experience. So I'm kind of talking about the positives and the negatives here, all right? And some of these are just inquiries. In the last 3 days since they announced this shutdown, parents are calling me local. What's going to happen? Is this going to work? Is my kids going to be able to learn? How are they going to pay attention? How are they going to do anything? Is this a waste of time? So I just want to address some of these things. But I'm going to start with the positive. Glass half full, okay? What's the positive? It works. It does work, and it certainly can work, and it can be very effective. I have taught entire SAT classes to groups of 25 people, and kids have gotten 1,500 plus scores using the same system. I can work with people one-on-one. The technology, as I said before, is strong. So let's talk about the upside. It can be very convenient. First of all, I'm in Pennsylvania. If you're in Texas, you're not flying here to tutor. So you can sit in your bedroom, your living room, your kitchen, your patio, in some cases around the pool. Have people in Florida and in Arizona, some of the warmer weather states, sitting around a poolside doing tutoring. That's pretty nice, huh? The other convenience is typically if I'm going to meet with somebody in my office, it's an hour session. But what if you only have two questions? What if you have 10 minutes worth of questions? Well, guess what? Online, we can do that. Pop on, answer them. 10 minutes later, bang, you're back to what you're doing. I can move on to my next thing. I think the third thing is just convenience. It's busy. Sometimes, especially younger kids, they don't drive. They don't have a way to get here. I tutored a girl who could have walked here. I don't think she was a quarter mile away. And the parents were just busy. They were working. The time she was available, she didn't have a car. She was in eighth grade, I think, when we started. She's in 11th now. So we did it virtually. Worked great. Still does. The other thing is homebound or sick. And this is a sensitive topic now with this virus, but I've had kids get hurt, concussions, mono, real bad flu, out of school 2-3 weeks, and have to go into homebound instruction. And this is a safe way to do it. Nobody wants to get sick, especially what's going around now. So you've got that, as they say now, social distancing. So many catchphrases you got to keep up with, right? So I think these are some of the positives: the convenience, the effectiveness, the timeliness, the economics of it. It all just works. The technology, it's all good. Some of the concerns. Probably the biggest one is in a class setting. Like if a teacher is trying to emulate what they would normally do in a classroom and they're not accustomed to doing it, it can be a little challenging. It's a little bit of a different teaching style. I'm sure teachers will adapt quickly to it, but the difference is you can't see the students in the room. As a teacher, and many times when you're in a classroom, you can sort of sense, you can just look around the room and see who's getting it and who's not getting it, or prompt people just by looking at them. Hey, everybody's getting what's going on, right? You're getting like visual confirmation. It's tougher to do that online unless you directly ask. The other thing is it's easy for kids to get distracted. I mean, this is one of the biggest complaints I hear from parents. My kid's doing their homework and they're on the phone the whole time. They're on the phone, they're talking, they're texting, they're doing this, they're listening to music. You do have some of those dangers creeping in here also. You're also on a computer, which is sometimes the root of these distractions, right? So, it's kind of like you're working in the same technology. I do get parents to say, and this is really more of a bona fide concern, is my child just doesn't learn well. They need somebody there working with them, looking over their shoulder. That may be more of a challenge. And just like some people don't thrive in a classroom setting, some people are not going to thrive in a virtual setting. But the key is if the students plug in, get their technology set, pay attention, this platform, virtual teaching platform, can really work very well. So like I said, a couple challenges are you got to have the right technology. You can't have a 7-year-old laptop, and most people don't. You could do this on a phone. You could do this on a tablet. Definitely do it on a medium high quality laptop. You do need the Wi-Fi power, that sort of thing. But let me address two more things. One is how do you know if you're just looking at tutoring, if virtual is an option for you? And it goes back a little bit to the things I was talking about before, is the convenience, the logistics, the travel, the timing. Generally, virtual will allow a lot more flexibility. And I think the second big question would be, how do we get feedback? Which is really the same thing as when I work with somebody live. Here's another cool thing about the virtual, at least the way I do it, is I can record the lesson. We can do the whole thing. It gets recorded, the video and the audio, and the student go back and look at it again. Pretty neat, huh? So I would, at least if you're thinking about it, try it. I offer everybody a free sample lesson. I'm going to do a little bit of plug here. I don't often on the podcast, but if you're interested in math tutoring, science tutoring, SAT tutoring, ACT tutoring, any of these things, and you want to try it virtually, Let's try maybe a 10 or 15-minute lesson, complimentary, gratis. Check it out, see if it's for you. I'm also going to plug the Make the Grade Success community. I have a community online that's just really become a tremendous resource and gathering place for like-minded people. And I wish people would check that out. I'm going to put links to this in the show notes. So I'm going to kind of keep it real simple and short today. Schools, institutions, colleges. I mean, my kids at a university here, 40,000 people, they shut down. They're going online till the end of the semester. And this is happening right now. It's a kind of a scary new normal, but we'll see where things land when everything settles. So to summarize, virtual learning, online education, essentially using the internet technology, internet-based classrooms to teach and to learn. I think there's positives and negatives. I've listed them. The biggest thing, though, is it's an option that may be the best option when you don't have another alternative because you can't go into school. Just it is what it is. I can do this one-on-one. I can do this in a large setting, actually up to 99 people, the way I have my system set up, but that can expand to 1,000. But there's definitely some things you might want to think about trying it and seeing if it's a good fit for you, your family, and your child. As always, the Make the Grade podcast is about trying to give you actions to help you further and maximize your education ASAP. I hope we are accomplishing that. I would love your feedback, comments, suggestions, even complaints. That's okay. sgreene@makethetherade.net. sgreen@makethegrade.net. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, @MakeTheGrade, the Make the Grade community. Please reach out. So I thank everybody for your attention. As always, I feel like the more people that can get this sort of information, the more people we're helping, the more people that can get ahead, more people work up to their potential. So until next time, Dr. Stephen Green, the Success Doctor, wishing you a great week and maximize your education.
You've been listening to Make the Grade with the Success Doctor, Stephen Green. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe. For more resources and support, please visit makethegrade.net.